Good evening. We have been hearing a lot of news about various price increases, things that have been happening from petrol to goods that are going out. Some because of COVID, some because of different reasons. Today we are here with Mr. Gamini Kannangara, a veteran who's also a member of the Clearing and Forwarding Association and also the managing director of Trico, to understand some of the complications that we have heard about the industry, especially regarding clearing and forwarding. So, on behalf of Hiru News English, good evening.
Good evening.
Good to have you on our show. Ms. Kannagar, we would like to know from you, with this COVID situation and the pandemic, what are some of the issues that you all are facing as clearing and forwarding agents?
The biggest obstacle what we are facing at the moment as clearing and forwarding agent is the time limits that we are given by respective stakeholders such as port operators, terminal operators and shipping lines. Usually they give us time, 3 working days time to take a container out of the port. Then shipping lines give us some days, it all dependent, line to line differs, 7 days to 10 days to return the empty container back to the line yard.
And you all have to pay a fee for those 3 days?
Yeah, for 3 days, if we clear within first 3 days, for a 40-foot container, there is $212, 20-foot container, $140. There's a tariff issued by Port Authority. We are pay on that.
So, before COVID, did you all have a problem or was it okay?
Basically, we did not have any of such problems before COVID because almost probably 95 to 98% of containers that came to Sri Lanka for local imports were cleared on time.
What is the real problem now that you all are faced with?
What the industry facing today is the shutdown, travel restrictions have reduced the work efficiency of various organizations, companies, and etc. etc. So when that happens, we are unable to take the containers on time because sometimes the warehouses are full of our customers.
So, what have you done about it?
Our association has represented themselves with the finance ministry and requested from the finance ministry to advise port or request from port to give us extra 2 working days.
Have you all given it in writing?
Yes, submitted in writing. Finance ministry has sent a request letter to the port authority notifying our request.
So the finance ministry sent a letter to the ports authority asking them to extend or give a grace period for these 2 extra days.
Yeah.
What has happened since then?
Today, 16th of June, still no response.
What have you all done as a result? You all have written a letter, you all haven't got any response. What have you as the association
Well,
done?
in the meantime, about a week ago, I met Minister Ports and I discussed with him about the letter and that the association, the trade is waiting for a response. Then he asked me to send another letter. So I did a letter to Minister highlighting the finance ministry's request number and etc. as a private citizen. That there is a situation like this and the request has gone and the public is definitely facing price increase situation due to this extra cost. So the minister to look into this and allow these extra 2 days.
Okay. So the finance ministry has written a letter to the ports authority in response to your request, asking ports authority to give the 2 extra days, and ports authority has not responded.
Not yet.
Would you know why that is?
Well, I have reason known to them. We are also in pins or we are on tens to understand why. But so far, no positive response.
What is the consequence as a result for the industry?
The consequences would be, I mean, it's not only our association, there are many other associations who import various goods for like commercial, for factories, raw materials and food items and etc. etc. So, whenever there is a blockade in the port or due to various reasons, under the COVID, so when they have to pay extra money to take the containers out, that extra money will be added to the selling price. So it will definitely increase the consumers' buying price.
You are a commercial operation. Would you transfer everything to the public, or will you be absorbing the cost if the government doesn't go ahead with this 2 days extra?
As right, as a one entity of business, we have decided not to pass down the extra cost to the consumer.
In closing, you're a veteran in this area. You've been probably over 40 years experience in this. We want to just ask you, it has been in news about the Pearl Express that has caught fire. What are your thoughts on it? Have you all been affected?
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate incident. I mean, and also we have 6 containers was on that vessel, and it was loaded from Qatar. The contents in the containers were the personal goods belong to Sri Lankan expatriate working in Qatar, and everything is lost today. So I personally believe a catastrophe we could have stopped because there was enough time.
Okay.
From the day, I believe, from the day they reported the what you call smoke, until the day went into a fire, 3 4 days there was gap. I believe, I believe thoroughly there would have been easily avoided the situation.
Do you think it was negligence? Do you think that it was purposely done?
I am not in a position to comment on either one, but as a naked eye, I am not expert in shipping operations. So what I'm saying is, okay, we have a chairman, it's a political appointment. We have minister, political appointment. But the port system has staff, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 staff working in port authority with 0 to 30, 35 years experience, who have been trained in various departments in the port, including fire and emergencies. So they are the people who should have taken what you call appropriate action.
What happens to the people from Qatar who have sent maybe a small chocolate, a little toy to their loved one, maybe some books for school, maybe some stationery? We know what comes in those containers and all of that. What happens to them? Their containers have got burned. What is your plan?
Our plan is to lodge the insurance claim and get the maximum and pass down to the customers. So I'm also daily base, hourly base. We are keeping a tab on what is happening in the inquiries on the international market, because insurance companies are not in Sri Lanka; they are all overseas.
What is your final request from the government, the ports authority, the ministers, and all the relevant officials?
I maintain one statement. The port of Sri Lanka, about 500 plus years old. It was supposed to have started in Portuguese time. Until yesterday, until today, tomorrow, the port has been developed under the government care. Government is the people or the public. So this is an investment shouldered by the public. So there are 2 private operators, 1 government operator, the port called CICT, SAGT and JCT. So SAGT and CICT private operators. So they have been able to list out a terminal and earn a buck out of it or do a business on top of that, because the public has invested, building the port there or expanding the port there. Then the last investment, the biggest investment in the port side, to my knowledge, is about $2-3 billion they invested in expanding the breakwater. When they expand the breakwater, the reason, due to that only, the CICT terminal was born.
So the public has invested billions, as you say, in developing this port. And now today, at a time of COVID, when the public are finding it very difficult, it seems that these private operators and whoever the officials are, sitting on pieces of paper that have already been approved, which actually can give a benefit to the people. And that benefit needs to come to the people, because people are in need at this time. Thank you, Mr. Gamini, for highlighting this issue.
උණුසුම් වීඩියෝ එසැනින් බලාගන්න Hiru News YouTube channelය subscribe කරන්න.